and welcome to Trucking Answers. This is the Sunday rant where I rant about something that's bothering me. One thing that's bothering me is this long hair. Can we get people doing their hair back to work? All right. So anyway, look, I wanted to go over what I said Thursday. People said, "Oh, Mark, we couldn't hear you on Thursday." I know, and I'm sorry, but I really wanted to be outside to prove a point of being outside. Like, it was important to be outside, just like it is now. I'm out looking at cars today. What do you know about that? The governor can just bite me and that kind of stuff. All right. Because until there's martial law, you can go outside. All right. You don't get to have to stay in your house. But let's relate this back to trucking, because this is not going to be an all, let's talk about the problems all the time. Utah now, when you cross the state line, Utah says you're going to get a message on your phone that is, the message is going to come like an Amber Alert. Okay, so it'll come to all cell phones, and it's a form that you have to fill out. So the governor says you have to fill it out. Where have you been the last 14 days, comrade? Where are you going in Utah? Are you going through, or will you be stopping anywhere? How long are you going to stay there? All these kind of questions. Now, what happens with people without a cell phone? I don't know. Maybe they throw them all in jail for not having a phone. He didn't really say. He goes... And he also said, we're not going to enforce this, too bad yet. And so some trucking groups got involved in this. And what happened? He relented and said, all right, people involved in interstate commerce will not have to fill the form out. So, but it'll still come to your phone. I'd love to see it. If anybody gets it, screenshot it and let me see what exactly comes to your phone. So I think that'd be interesting to see that, whatever the heck that, whatever the message is that's coming. But the point of all this is all crazy. And that's what I was saying on Thursday. I want everybody to watch The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, which is an original series episode of the Twilight Zone. I think that is exactly what's happening here, because I read into forums and groups, and there's tons of people now posting that, my neighbor, they had 3 people over. I swear to you. Okay. Hey, why are people out buying bicycle parts? That's not essential. Well, who's to say what essential is? Who gets to say what exactly essential is, right? Well, certainly not the governor. It's none of their business or anybody else's business what people go outside to buy. It can be bicycle parts. Maybe I want to put a pool in the back. It doesn't matter what it is. Auto parts. Somebody said, well, why are auto parts places open? Well, if you need to get to work to serve people food, you got to have your car working. Okay, so what's essential to one person and not another? It is not for the government to say ever what that is. But we just flopped over like a dead fish on this, just like that. People are like, oh, well, the governor said it, I better do it. And many people criticize me, and, that's all right. That's what the form is there for. Well, here's this driver talking about this when there's scientists and talking about, okay, right. I'm not saying I don't believe anything, okay? I totally believe it's true. Okay, so don't think like I'm saying, well, this is not true. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is the government doesn't get to make any kind of rule that says you have to stay in your house. And I related it back to smoking, not to say that smoking's bad, all right, although I don't think you should smoke personally, but to say that 500,000 people a year die from that, and all the government does is put a warning on the package, like they should do. Here's a warning. Here's what could happen to you. You still get to decide what's going to happen to you. And people said, well, that doesn't hurt anybody else. In fact, over 40,000 people a year die from secondhand smoke. So it does hurt other people. It, in fact, does hurt other people. So over the years, it's been tons of people die from that. And all there is a warning. And so then you get to decide if you want to smoke. And a private business can always decide if they don't want smoking in their business. Then I patronize them or not based on their regulations. But none of this governmental interference, in any way. Oh, I'm falling. Here we go. That's falling. I'm better. All right. So maybe what a better example would be is heart disease. So 647,000 people a year or so die of heart disease. Should the government mandate what you eat? Should the government be able to say, all right, because of that, here's what you should eat. And not only that, that's all you're going to be allowed to eat. Period. Everybody would say, no, absolutely not. How is this any different? All right, it isn't. The thing is, okay, it's communicable. There's a lot of communicable diseases. We should always stay 6 feet apart like that anyway. Why, when I'm standing at line to get a fuel receipt, which I try not to do anymore, why is some goober standing right behind me, breathing down my neck? You can feel the smell of desperation on him. Okay, you can just smell it on him, right? Why am I getting that? I don't understand it. Back up. You should always have been doing that anyway. Wash your hands. You should always do that anyhow. None of this is anything that we shouldn't have been doing. But to have it mandated where you can't leave your house, look what's happening. This last week has been really something. I don't know how many letters I got this week from industries I never thought I would see. Fuel haulers are being laid off. Now people hauling food are being laid off. One guy wrote in from Cisco and said, look, the hours where I am, he goes, I was getting 60 hours, now I'm getting 30 hours. Because now not as many people are going out. Now it's starting to hit everybody. And this is going to be a big problem. And for what? You are saving thousands to ruin millions of people. And that's the sad part about it. And I think about it. Let people that are really susceptible, okay, should take all precautions. And the rest of us should take as much precaution as we can to try to not spread disease around. Of course, you should always do that, okay? Hey, how about shower once in a while? How about that? How about keep your hands, wash your hands, stay back from people? We should always be doing that so that, we can do this for other people. And so that's what should be done. And that's what I was trying to say on Thursday, in that this can all be done in a different way. Oh, by the way, the government just reduced the amount of deaths that they think now. It's not going to be millions anymore. Now they're down into maybe 60, 80,000 on depending on where you read on total deaths. Isn't that amazing? Boy, that came down fast, didn't it? And they're going to say, well, it's because of this, so we should do even more of this. Fauci, that guy, Fauci, however you pronounce him, you know what he said now? Maybe people that have been cured should carry a paper with them to show that they've been cured. Oh, papers. Perfect. So when you're walking around, couple of officers, papers, can we see your papers, comrade? Do you have your papers with you? That's what it's coming to. And we allow it. The sad thing is we're allowing it. I just don't get it. Why people roll over so fast after so many people have died for freedom. And then here, the government says one thing and pow, everybody's in their house, locked up in their house, scared. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. All right. So I have a live show on Monday. This has gone long enough here at nearly 8 minutes. I have a live show on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I hope you'll be there. We could talk about this or whatever. And I do mostly trucking videos through the week. I did want to update from the Thursday video, but I am sticking to trucking videos as much as possible. And that's what is going to continue here and on the live show. So we will see you there. Go out and do something. Do something outside something. Okay. So that tell the governor to bite you. All right. So we'll see you on the next Trucking Answers.